Welcome back to the Everything But the Battle podcast. You're here with Ben Tarabello, Master Distiller at Tarabello Distillery and a contestant on the Moonshiner Master Distiller Show. Let's get to it. Our goal in this podcast is to give you every single way that you can streamline, make your distillery, winery, or brewery cost efficient with one daily tip. Our current topic so far has been where you get your grains from. Most people go online, they'll Google search, they'll find a grain supplier. In the US, it might be MGP Ingredients or the like, buy sacks from a local vendor, and pretty much take it from there. This is generally very efficient, cost efficient at least, but does not bring you in locals as clients. In our past shows, we went through many different reasons why it's beneficial to get locally sourced product, even if there's a slight premium. This show, this 5-minute clip, we're going to explain to you on how to hedge your bets and how to do it in a secure fashion. As a small operation yourself, you know that sometimes things get hiccuped, and you can't just be hiccuped and out. You gotta have a functioning distillery, winery, or brewery. So to that end, I would always suggest, hey, if you're big enough, you have two options. One is to have 6 months of inventory at your place, and that's if you have a big enough warehouse. Or don't just use one supplier, have two suppliers. This can be a little tricky because if they are different corns, you're going to need two different products. Blending it won't help you because if one corn is a little sweeter, one corn is a little drier, or whatever it is, and then one of the suppliers, let's say Dave's Supply, just doesn't have corn that year, you're not going to be able to produce your beer, even though your other supplier, Nick, could supply. How about if you create different products? Specifically speaking about breweries, not distilleries, because as we've mentioned previously, distilleries products, we generally can get away with a lower grade or even a different variety because we're aging the product. And if you're talking about moonshine, I don't really think most people's moonshine drinkers are going to be so nuanced and say, hey, I'm not drinking this moonshine because it's different than flavored corn. But for beer, you need to be strategic about it. You need to focus and say, hey, this I'm going to get from two suppliers. It seems like they taste different. If they taste the same, you don't got this issue. I'll make two different beers, or this way I always have one in stock. And again, you're building up fantastic relationships with them. And you do also want to, as we mentioned previously, discuss leaving it by them. If you need warehouse space, that's always a great idea. Often enough, they want money up front. You got to be careful. Don't want to pay completely up front, obviously. So you have to have a good contract. Make sure you maybe 30% up front, 50% up front. You're going to want to have storage be on top of how it's stored by him. At the end of the day, your business will be dependent on local, so you want to be involved with the process, which is very, very important. A great another trick that we find with the wineries and breweries, and just to reiterate, you need to spell things out. Don't rely on the handshake. Okay, you need to spell it out in the contract. You will want to use it because you're buying futures, okay? The grains, let's just go through this. The corn is not by you now. When you buy it wholesale online, you pay. You can even pay up to front with credit card, and they'll deliver it, correct? It's all by you. This is kind of in the future, even if now is a corn season, I'm going to come pick it up. There can be 6 months of misunderstanding. The guy, God forbid, could die. You want to know this corn is yours. You want documented, you want signed. And a very common clause is arbitration, just a clause. You don't want to go in front of a judge, and that's understandable. It's stressful. Legal arbitration is the cheapest way to go about, and you want it there. This is to keep the peace. This is what's going to keep you in business and working together. You want to discuss delivery terms, okay? Very important. Bad weather, good weather. Does he have an open truck, a closed truck? Because this is your production on the line, and depending on your season, this can have a dramatic effects. Okay, weight, volume, keep track of all these details. Make sure your language is very, very clear and concise with them. Very often they'll extend to you 30-day credit. This is something you won't get by a big vendor. Spell that out. That can be huge for you. It can help you build production. Or they might only want 30%. These are flexible options. Another very interesting thing that I've seen done is the option at a specific volume price to buy more. Okay, so you don't have to buy all 6,000. You negotiate a set price at $6,000, but I only have to buy $4,000. So if you don't, sales, God forbid, not doing so well, you can go ahead and close the deal. Of course, we've discussed working with neighbors, wineries, and breweries to bring in all the product together. That's obviously extremely efficient. Looking forward to having you again tomorrow on our tips. Our biggest tip of today is hold on to your cash. Make sure everything's documented and become good friends. Good friends, good deals. See you all tomorrow.